Gives you all the tradable news and data you need ahead of the Wall Street Open. Coming up, pullback Tuesday. Now, global stocks are taking a breather on those geopolitical concerns and hawkish comments from some policymakers. And big bank earnings, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, the earnings just trickling out. Investors watching for signs of health of capital markets and deal making. Goldman Sachs profit climbing. And Morgan Stanley's profit falls on one-time charges. Meanwhile, oil prices rising. We're getting some breaking news out of the Wall Street Journal. Middle East tensions are escalating, increasing the volatility in oil futures. More in just a moment, but first, good afternoon. A warm welcome to you to this new edition of Beat the Street. Not long now before Wall Street starts trading. Now, remember, traders are coming off a long weekend after that Martin Luther King Day. We're seeing a fair bit of caution out there. This is the Wall Street, which mirrors the Dow Jones Industrials. Just giving you some context here, geopolitical concerns and some hawkish comments from some policymakers actually behind the caution that we're seeing. Also, not forgetting, we are also waiting on that December retail sales and housing data to boot. Now, just wanting to get you across the breaking news first, or rather the biggest news of the last few hours. Earnings from Goldman Sachs. Q4 profit, fourth quarter profit up 51% to just over $2 billion, as you can see there on this graphic. In terms of per share, $5.48 a share. Versus $3.32 per share a year earlier. Equity trading revenues jumped 26% in asset and wealth management. Those units in terms of revenues also did well, rising 23%. Now, what's also key to remember is that Goldman also, like many of the other banks, did embark on quite a bit of cost cutting in terms of restructuring. Just showing you the shares because this is all sessions on the IG platform. It shares currently up 1.7% all sessions on the IG platform. As I mentioned earlier, Goldman has actually embarked, like many of the other banks, on cost cutting, and it has laid off thousands of staff in 2023. Including cuts to its workforce in January that were the largest since the 2008 financial crisis. Also checking in on Morgan Stanley really quickly. Morgan Stanley, though not an all-session stock on the IG platform, but I just wanted to show it to you ahead of the open. Morgan Stanley profit for Morgan Stanley falling in Q4 due to one-time charges tied to a Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation's special assessment and a legal matter. Now, we've been looking at the Dow very closely recently because it has been achieving higher highs. And what's interesting about the Dow are the technicals, which show not just inverse polarity, but a lot of momentum behind that stock. However, the picture might have changed and consolidated after traders came back from that long weekend. Let's check in with IG's Axel Rudolph for more.
Now that the US is back from its prolonged weekend due to the Martin Luther King holiday, it seems to me that the Dow Jones Industrial Average is consolidating ever so slightly, and so are the other major US indices. And as you can see here, last week we made a new all-time record high with regards to the Dow Jones Industrial Average above the 37,800 mark. But since then, we've started to drift lower towards the 8th of January low around 37,218. So we'll have to see whether we can hold there or not, because if we can't, we've got another potential support level going down to the late December lows at 37,025. But that needs to hold for this gradual ascent to remain in play, because a fall through there could indicate that a more significant decline could actually occur over the coming weeks. So for the time being, we're just trading sideways with a short-term negative bias, but still above some important support around 37,218 to 25. As long as that holds, the medium-term uptrend remains in play.
Thanks very much, Axel. We'll keep an eye on those levels on the Dow Industrials. Now, just checking in on M&A for you, we have had a big deal out of the engineering software sector. Synopsys finalizing its $35 billion cash and stock deal to buy Ansys. This is according to sources close to the matter. Now, this transaction, if confirmed, will be the biggest acquisition in the tech sector since chipmaker Broadcom took over software maker VMware last November. Just checking in on Ansys for you. Not all sessions, but it is tradable on the IG platform. As I mentioned earlier, the deal, some $35 billion in cash and stock, according to people close to the matter. Also checking in on some all-session stocks for you, because one of the USPs of the IG platform is you can trade these stocks all sessions, not all, but many of the liquid ones. Just checking in on Tesla for you first, one that is very popular amongst many of our clients. Tesla, this is the one-day chart, all sessions, currently down more than 1% after Elon Musk said he would be uncomfortable growing the car maker, the EV maker, to be a leader in AI and robotics without having at least a quarter voting control of the company. That's 25%. Apple, another mover, all sessions on the IG platform. It shares down 1.5%. The Apple, the iPhone maker, rather, offering rare discounts on its iPhones in China, where it's facing fierce competition. This move coming just days after the company was overtaken by Microsoft as the world's most valuable company. Boeing is another one that is all sessions on the IG platform. It shares also lower. Let's check by how much, down more than 2%. The FAA extending the grounding of Boeing 737 MAX 9 airplanes indefinitely. That's right, indefinitely, for new safety checks. That's after the Boeing blowout incident recently. And PayPal, another one that is all sessions on the IG platform. PayPal looking lower by 1.5%. This is because Elon Musk's X, formerly known as Twitter, received a money transmitter license from Utah on Monday, as the company is exploring adding a payments feature to the social media platform. And finally, we are looking at emerging news surrounding oil. Just bringing up US crude there for you. In fact, let me just pull up the hourly chart for you to see if there's a clear reaction there. We're getting quite a bit of breaking news on oil at the moment. One of them being that Shell has suspended Red Sea transits indefinitely. That's right, indefinitely after the escalation of attacks. This is according to the Wall Street Journal, citing sources. Let's just have a look at Brent for you as well to see what that's doing. And currently on the hourly chart, that's the picture. Let's see if we can get you a daily chart. There you go. Not much of a move yet, but we are keeping a look at those headlines. And IG Chief Market Analyst Chris Beecham saying that these news reports, or rather headlines, is the kind of thing that will make the Fed err on the side of caution, especially with the volatility seen in the oil markets as well, what's happening in the Red Sea. He says is the kind of thing that will make the Fed err on the side of caution. And before we go, let's have a last look to see how the market is looking. As I mentioned earlier, a bit of caution there, especially amid those headlines coming through out of the Red Sea. And also as we wait on the retail sales and US housing data and those earnings from Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. That's it for this edition of Beat the Street, the show that follows the trading action, helping you position yourself ahead of the opening bell. For more trading insight, follow me on @IGCom and @Angeline on Twitter. This is IGTV.